Hi guys, today is April 6, 2020. Futures are jumping higher as President Trump said that he sees the light at the end of the tunnel, and mortality cases in New York has slowed down, with daily mortality cases. So that's good news for the markets. Futures are higher. So let's jump to stocks. But before we jump to stocks, I just want to say, write me some comments as I'm planning to do a Q&A session on the weekend, and I'm going to use a lot of stocks that you asked me about. It's not going to be a live session, but still I'd like to go over some stocks that people ask me during the week. And also, if you want to see details of my trades and how I'm trading my portfolio, you can check out the Patreon link in the description of this video. So let's jump to S&P 500, stock symbol SPY. So SPY is obviously jumping higher this morning. I'm not sure if this is the bottom or so-called the established bottom, because I think this could still go a little bit lower in my opinion, but who knows what's going to happen. The whole thing is very news driven. But I will be very careful with my purchases as always, and I may trim some of my positions in general today, as this time today will be a little bit, the market will be a little bit higher. Okay, so let's jump to other stocks. Corporate news, Delta Airlines, and actually Delta Airlines and actually Southwest were in the news because Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway sold some of his and Berkshire positions in those airlines. I think 18%. Buffett sold 18% stake in Delta and 4% stake in Southwest. Okay, so, and also on a separate note, UAL, which is United Airlines and American Airlines, they both said that they are reducing their flights to New York City. So not good time for airlines, but usually when that's not a good time for airlines, that's the time to buy airlines or to buy any stock. So I will be interested to pick up some of the shares of the airlines. In general, people are afraid that government help will require government to take stakes in those airlines and will further dilute the shares of these stocks. But I'm not too worried about that actually, because this is very low, and actually the unions for those airlines are petitioning for the government not to do that. So I will be looking to buy a little bit of the airlines on this sell-off. So let's jump to Boeing. Okay, so Boeing said that they're extending the suspension of its Washington state production operation. But still, Boeing is pretty low in my opinion in this area, and they filled the gap here technically. So I think Boeing may actually go higher from here. So I will be interested in Boeing. Okay, so GM had some news. GM said that they're extending maturities on its $6 billion loans. They're not refinancing their loans, so they're extending maturity of those loans. I'm not very much a fan of GM or Ford, but I am a fan of Tesla. I like Tesla a lot, and Tesla is jumping this morning on an upgrade from Jefferies with price target cut to $650 from $800, but in general Tesla is a very good buy in my opinion, under $500. So if it drops under $500, I am a buyer of Tesla. Okay, so Gilead said that they will scale up its production of its remdesivir vaccine, and they will be donating 1.5 million doses of remdesivir vaccine to the needed patients, and they said that's the right thing to do. I agree with Gilead. And looks like, I mean, they're not approved for anything. Okay, so they're providing their remdesivir vaccine for compassionate use only, and in general for trials. But still looks like that part is going successfully. So the trials, I mean, and I think Gilead is going higher actually, as a matter of fact. In the same space, GlaxoSmithKline and Vir Biotechnology, they announced collaboration just today or a day before. So they're saying that GlaxoSmithKline will use Vir's biotechnology, monoclonal antibodies technology, and that's very good news, first of all, for Vir, okay, because they can use a lot of resources from GSK, which is GlaxoSmithKline, and a lot of technologies, and that's really good for Vir. So the stock is jumping pre-market, I don't know, like 30% or so. But in general, like I told you before, I've been talking about Vir almost every video, that closer to $30 I'm a buyer for Vir, closer to $40 it's a little bit tight for me, okay, but if you bought on my recommendation, that congratulations, you're making a lot of money in Vir. But in general, I like Vir and I like JSK. Okay, so Innovia, on the other hand, Innovia said that it will offer up to 150,000 million shares. Okay, but they didn't say at what price. They just said that they will be offering it at different prices as the need arises. So, I mean, I'm also optimistic about Innovia. They're starting clinical trials this month, and we'll see what happens. But this is one of the stocks that I'm watching, and I own this stock. Also, Moderna. Moderna recently said that their phase 1 trials of coronavirus is going successfully, and they're planning to move to phase 2 and phase 3. Okay, so Apple is targeting to produce 1 million face shields weekly for medical professionals, and that stock is going higher. I think in the low 240s I would be a buyer for Apple. Also INTC, which is Intel, upgraded by Raymond James to market perform from underperform, and I like Intel in general because it's a data center, and that's the part that works right now in today's markets. Data centers are the key to the whole internet thing. Okay, so also in this area, AMD, NVIDIA, and WDC, Lam Research, LRCX, all these stocks I like, and I would be buying those stocks on a pullback, definitely. Okay, also Walgreens Put Alliance was upgraded this morning to neutral from sell by UBS, and Walgreens Put Alliance is a good stock to be in this environment, but I'd rather be in CVS. I actually like CVS more than Walgreens because they have Aetna. And but Walgreens is not a bad pickup in my opinion in general. So eBay was upgraded this morning, and by Guggenheim to buy from neutral. Okay, they're citing that eBay has come down a lot, and they have a very strong balance sheet, and they can withstand this sell-off and this shutdown. Okay, so eBay is a pretty good company to be in this environment, in my opinion. At under $30, that's really low for eBay, I think. Zoom Video. Zoom Technologies. Zoom Video was downgraded this morning to underperform. In general, Zoom Video. In general, I like Zoom Video. Okay, and it's trading right now pre-market in $114 area, lower a little bit, closer to $100. I think I would be a buyer for Zoom. Okay, so a lot of people are asking me about Luckin Coffee and symbol LK, because as you know, they were accused of the fraud allegations. Actually, the company itself discovered that there are fraud allegations, and the statements for last year were fabricated by COO. So I usually I don't have good news for the owners of Luckin Coffee, because I mean, if the allegations are true, Security and Exchange Commission will put a huge fine on this company, Plus, there will be a lot of lawsuits that will weigh on this company. So I'm definitely not a buyer of Luckin Coffee. Instead, I may actually short the stock because I mean that's very bad news for Luckin Coffee, and I don't have any. I don't have any excuses for Luckin Coffee, and I don't have anything that could lift the stock. I don't have anything. I don't see anything that could lift the stock. So, Mesoblat, that company, that stock is higher this morning. It received FDA approval for its investigational drug application. And the last company that I highlight that I wanted to give you is CHRW. Okay, CH Robinson. It's logistics solutions company. They do trucking, they do air freight, ocean transportations, and stuff like that. So that's a good company to be in right now in this environment. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click the like button, and I'll see you tomorrow.